Hi guys and welcome back to Car Focus. Now in today's video we've got this little beauty for review. I've only got the car for about an hour, so it's going to be a very quick review, just a first drive, first impressions kind of thing. So yeah, it's the T-Roc R, your full fat T-Roc, as quick as a T-Roc is going to get. The T-Roc is a crossover from Volkswagen, so it's just over £40,000 for a base one. And then if you spec up some options like this one here, you're looking at over sort of £50,000, £51,000. So we've got the Akrapovic titanium exhaust on this as one of the options, which gives it a bit of a fruitier sound. But yeah, so the T-Roc has been overhauled. It's been given all the R design cues. We've got the 19-inch alloy wheels, the R calipers, obviously the EA 888 2-litre turbo engine up front, 400 newton meters of torque, 300 PS, 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. Obviously it's going to hook up quite well with a four-wheel drive. Yeah, just the usual R styling really. We've got your gloss back surrounds here, you've got your light bar, your nice gloss splitter, as I say, your big wheels, your quad exhaust at the rear, the Akrapovic system, a spoiler at the back, R interior, you've got your half Alcantara blue checkered R embroidered seats in there as well. So yeah, it should be quite a good little video just to get out on it and see what it's like to drive. Never been a massive crossover fan myself, but I did have the Puma ST for a week and I did really enjoy it, so maybe a little bit of a comparison against that. But we've got a 7-speed DSG in this car as well, which will make gear changes obviously lightning fast. A little bit raised up, slightly higher centre of gravity than say the likes of the Golf R, for example, so it'll be quite interesting to see what it handles like. But yeah, I think it's enough chit chat from the outside. Oh, I do want to touch upon the weight as well. It's about 1,600 kilos, so it's not massively heavy. It's probably the weight of a hot hatch these days, to be fair, 1,600 kilos. So yeah, we'll jump in the car, we'll take it for a quick spin, and I'll hopefully convey what it's like to drive and if it's worth spending your money on. So, jumping in the T-Roc. Now, today I've driven the Polo GTI and I've driven an ID.5 as well. So this is going to be more sort of comparable to Polo GTI in terms of that it's a traditional vehicle. In the way it's laid out, in the fact that it's got a 7-speed DSG, blah, blah, blah. However, this is obviously another level up from the GTI. So anyway, what is the T-Roc like inside? Well, it's quite nice. It's nice. We've got some leather stitching on the dashboard, so it's a nice soft touch dashboard. Much like the Polo GTI, we've got a nice thick chunky steering wheel with perforated grips. We've got an R button on the steering wheel, which is a dedicated drive mode switch, so if you click on that, it immediately puts you in race, but it then also brings up the other options as well. So you've got eco, comfort, normal, race and individual. Race being the most feisty one for the road, obviously. So yeah, it's quite nice just to be able to get to those drive modes quickly. And yeah, we've got the usual VW infotainment system. We've actually got a physical volume knob, which is quite nice, and then haptic touch buttons as well to navigate to radio, media, etc, etc. Quality inside the cabin is what you expect from a Volkswagen. There are hard plastics, but they are quite solid plastics. Got the piano black trim inside as well, a bit like the Golf GTI. I'm not sure if I like that because it can quite easily pick up grubby sort of fingerprints and stuff like that. But yeah, overall inside it's a nice place to be. The rear is quite spacious, and with it being a crossover, we've got a very high roof, so we've got a lot of headroom, which is quite nice. And yeah, you do sit kind of higher up than you would in a normal hatchback, with it being a crossover. Yeah, it is really quick though, guys. We were in first gear then, accelerated off away from that junction. Obviously with me in four-wheel drive, there are no traction issues whatsoever. Literally just ups and goes. But yeah, very easy. I'm going to put it into auto mode now. We'll just see what it's like when you floor it with the kick down and stuff. There's your kick down. Third gear is very strong. Third gear just keeps on giving. Second's over quite quickly along with first, but third gear seems to be the gear you'd want if you were kind of heading out on a bit of a back road blast. It's a very strong gear. Let's see now, let's see if it will kick down. I don't like it when it kicks down for you. So I'm at 3,000 revs in third gear, and we'll put our foot down. No, it hasn't kicked down, which is nice. Wow, yeah, third is amazing. So we can utilise that low down torque without the car kicking down and kind of taking it away from you. But yeah, very fast, guys. Suspension, so we've got DCC in this car, as I said. Now that it is quite firm on a road like this. So what I think I will do, I think it'll be nice on a track, but when it's a bumpy back road, it's a bit unnecessary, the amount that it's kind of skipping about a little bit. So we'll go into individual shortly, and we'll put suspension in normal mode. We'll see if that makes a difference. Right, so let's see what it's like now with the suspension. Now I've softened it up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Just feels a little bit more settled now. It's quite fun, guys. The brakes are very good. Whoa, yes, the brakes are very good indeed. It feels very composed. It's not trying to chuck you all over the road. Got quite a bit of confidence in this car, and I've only been in it for about 10 minutes. Yeah, it just goes down the road really well. Feels quite flat as well. You'd think with it being kind of jacked up, there'd be a bit of body roll, but it does actually feel pretty flat. Again, that's going to be helped by the DCC, so obviously the suspension's reacting to individual bumps and stuff in the road to try and stabilise the car as best as possible. But I like this car, I think it's pretty good. So yeah, we've had a bit of race mode, so we'll go into comfort mode now. And we'll just pop it back into auto. And then you've got a car that will just plod along, low revs, won't kick up a fuss, and you kind of forget that you've got 300 horsepower at your disposal. But how quickly does it wake up in comfort if you want to put your foot down? Well, we'll find out in a second. Just get onto a straight bit of road. We'll just see how kind of lazy the kickdown is. So yeah, we'll just find out now. See, yeah, a little bit lazy, but you get there in the end. At the end of the day, if you do want a bit of control, you just pop it into manual. But yeah, very nice in race mode. Better in individual mode when you tailor it to how you want it, and in comfort mode, just a very nice drive. Right, so we are going to see what this car is like on a little British tight twisty road. We are in individual mode, and it's nicely set up to my liking. We're in manual. Let's see what it's like. Oh, immediate power there. So we've got a little bit of a blind bend here, so we're going to go slowly up here and then accelerate midway through. Front wheels scrabbling a little bit there. There seems to be a little bit more power coming to the front there than the rear, which I'm guessing is the Haldex system. So a nice right-hander. We'll ease the throttle on midway through. Yeah, no complaints. Taking it all in its stride. Right, we've got a very 90-degree one here. It's blind, so we're going to just crawl round and then... you can feel the extra kind of height on a road like this when you're throwing it around, but it is taking it very well. Very impressive. Don't forget, it's not primarily designed for this. It's designed to be a kind of all-round family fast crossover. So the fact you can do this in it is very impressive. But it gets down the road fast, guys. It gets down the road very fast. Now, should you spend your money on one? Well, it all depends, really. It all depends on your personal circumstances, doesn't it? If you think you maybe, I don't know, you don't really want to go for a smaller kind of hatch like that, you want something a little bit more family orientated, maybe something you just sit a bit higher up in, you feel a little bit safer in a car like this, then by all means, this, I highly recommend this car. Should you get it over a Puma ST? I think you should. I mean, the Puma ST is a great fun car, but I think a DSG box, it just makes life so much easier. You don't want to be driving around all the time with a manual, pushing the car constantly. I'd say probably 80% of the time you're going to be driving around normally, and that's when the DSG box, just put across into automatic mode, just makes life so much easier. So I probably would go for this over the Puma ST, even though there's a bit of a premium. If you could stretch to it, I would say go for this. If you want an all-round car, if you want more of a car to thrash about and get some proper engagement out of all the time, Puma. But as always with Volkswagen, as more of an all-rounder, I'd say pick this T-Roc. Does this T-Roc make sense? I think it does. I think there probably is a gap in the market. There's a lot of people now after crossovers, so I can see why they made it. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised, guys. I enjoy it. Anyway, I think that's it for me. Just a quick video. Like I say, I didn't have very long with the car, but I've had a nice little play in it. I've grabbed it by the scruff of the neck, and I think we've got most of its potential out on the public road anyway. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. As always, until the next one, take care, and I shall see you soon.